when it finally clears and out.
You get every local Walmart.
I do, try to hit them, but Town Council order, December 11, 2025. Please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Next, we'll move to the November 13th minutes. I'm sure everyone's had a chance to review them. Are there any questions for Melinda or AC? If not, I'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Isaac. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Sarah. Around the room.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Okay. Move down to the treasurer's report. Anybody have any questions or comments in relation to Melinda's treasurer's report? Okay. Next on the agenda, bills for payment. Okay, Sharon, what do you got?
Number 6.
That is their annual donation for the American Legion property.
Thank you.
That was an easy one today.
That was easy. Thank you.
Anyone else have questions on the bills? I'll give you a few seconds to look down through them. I see the trash and the tipping fees are right in line, so it's nice with the budget. You can make a motion.
All right, make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Clarence? Any further discussion? Around the room?
Yes.
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 Okay, awesome. Okay, AC, the lot line revision, we can do that at any time, right? We don't have to wait till.
Right, that one doesn't matter. But if you want to let Chief go ahead with his report, and then we can
Okay.
keep those two together.
Okay, that'll work. Chief, what do you got? You have to talk for 6 minutes.
I got just a couple of quick things. I don't know, 6 minutes. Christmas patches came in. I have them here on my uniform. Received a lot of positive compliments from citizens about the patches. I've been asked about doing patriotic patches, so I may look at trying to do those. On November 14th, myself, Sergeant Turner, and Officer Redford assisted Plains Elementary with their Thanksgiving meal. This was open for the parents to come in, spend time with their child during lunch. We served 552 lunches that morning, or at lunch. The cafeteria staff was very appreciative of the help. I also want to thank the firefighters from Rockland County Fire Rescue Station at the Broad Lake Station for their help. And on December 4th, we had our annual pizza party at Plains Elementary. Domino's delivered 140 pizzas. This event reaches all the students at Plains Elementary. This has been a lasting impact on the students. I was even approached by 2 students at the Winter Festival on Saturday who thanked me for the pizza, and they really enjoyed it. Lastly, Flock has moved the camera at Spar Mine in North Main. I would suspect this to hit the bill probably next month for the council meeting. So if you see it on the bill list, Sharon, it'll probably be Flock. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Hey, see, why don't we just do this real quick, since,
Okay, that's fine.
AC sent out a letter about the news with the Commonwealth Transportation Board yesterday, where did everyone get a copy? Everyone got a copy of the results from DDOT, where it was like 160 million to keep the track. Another,
It was 164.8 million to do the trail only. It was 300 and some million to do the trail and with the rail, and then another 300 and some million to rehab the actual
trail,
so that the train could run on it.
so people were blindsided yesterday when they decided that they were going to spend the 300. They wanted to do the 300 and some million. With possibly the train may happen someday, and if it never happens, it never happens, but they're making it pay up. An engineering marvel. They're doing an engineering marvel when they could just do it right where it's at, and the possibility that a train may one day show up, and it may not. So it seemed like it blindsided everybody. They didn't do the last public comment they were supposed to do, and from AC's letter, we're basically asking, guys, put the brake on and make sure, having them handle it, I don't know, that was talked about in the beginning, that maybe that Battlefield Foundation might be a good people to handle it at one point, but it seems like they're just trying to get it done right now for some reason and get it out of their hands.
And Delegate Wilt put a letter to Delegate Wilt. It's on the front page of his website now. And so several of the local representatives have expressed concern about this whole process, the lack of public oversight, public input opportunities. Delegate Wilt doesn't represent us anymore, but our representative, the seat for that is currently vacant until Delegate Pence takes office. But Delegate Wilt's been involved with this project for a long time, I've been aware of it for a long time, his support of it. But one of the other things that he points out is, I think it's towards the end somewhere. It had to do with putting it out for, instead of just automatically awarding this to an organization, to put it out with RFP,
He says-
or put out an RFP to like give multiple, or, anybody that wanted to come in with a proposal on how to do this, that they would have that opportunity, which is typically how business is conducted. We wouldn't necessarily just go out and hire a contractor to do a project.
Right.
So there's just a lot of concern with, and a lot of lack of detail in this proposal that the CPB just unveiled on Tuesday. So, like I said, quite a few legislators have voiced concern about this. Delaware Wells put something on his site about it, this actual letter.
And the transportation board, except for the secretary, not a single one of them read the report.
I don't know, I know that I don't know how many had read the report. I know that.
And I know a lot of them said I hadn't seen it.
Right, yeah. So,
But they are not giving 35 million to a private organization, are they?
the plan that they detailed, their plan or their process that they detailed in that is that they would transfer the $35 million, which was allocated by the General Assembly for the project, to the Virginia Passenger Rail Authority, which would then transfer it to the Battlefield Foundation.
Oh, to the Battlefield Foundation. But this says a private organization.
Which it is.
Which is,
The Battlefield
the
Foundation.
Battlefield is private,
Right,
okay.
yeah.
And they're supposed to pay 23 million for the agreed upon track cost, and then utilize the other 12 million for starting on the trail itself.
Right, the 23 million would be for the acquisition of the corridor, and then the remainder would be the first part of the money to go into it.
If you haven't had a chance to, I mean, that film's like 7.5 hours to me.
Yeah, don't watch the whole thing.
If you watch that small section, you'll see how confusing it really was and how it just doesn't seem to be a plan except who the money goes to. Just a-
Well, it never has been a plan.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, there's not a plan right now for sure. But-
Okay.
So AC's basically would love to send, would like, with the approval of the council, to send his letter basically saying, slow it down, make sure it's detailed, make sure you know exactly what's going on. Because the transportation board said, well, if it doesn't happen, we'll just take it back. Oh, I don't know how that works, you just take it back. It's gotta be something that says you can take it back.
And there were questions about that too in that meeting, and they couldn't explain, the secretary couldn't explain how you take it back.
If you get it, you can take it.
I guess, yeah, in some way. Yeah. So, is everybody okay with AC sending this letter on our behalf?
Yeah, because it's our tax money.
Okay. Do you need a motion for that, or do you just need
I think as long as they have
general
direction.
consensus?
I can-
Anyone against them sending it?
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll at least have a good process done out of it that way.
Yeah, we just wanted,
We were fortunate, I guess we're fortunate that our council member meeting fell at this time, because a lot of localities won't have that opportunity before the VPRA meeting next Tuesday, so
okay.
thank you all.
The next, then we can do these two at the same time. The next two items we have is going to talk about the lot line revision, and we're going to we're going to open up, do I open up the joint together, or do we lot line revision first and the joint?
I would do the lot line revision first, because the planning commission has already made the recommendation on that, so.
Okay. So there is a recommendation from the plan. You can see from what we had before, the lot lines were kind of all over the place. I don't know what those couple, not that way. Maybe everything was focused around Church Street when it was first put in and not Main Street, I'm not sure. But what's being proposed is to add, basically change it, and you have 4, I guess, conforming lots, is that a good term?
Right, it's being reparceled from the existing lots, which are really odd, into 4 lots that would be conforming lots at that point.
Now, the question AC and I have talked at length about this, and my concern will be more in the conversation in the public hearing about this is all business. So with us changing a lot line, theoretically, you could put a business in those 2 lots in the back, in lot 1 and 2, which I'm not totally keen on that. But with the conditional use, hopefully we're going residential, because it's more residential. Because I struggle with having a business on that small lane that, it's 10 foot, exactly, it's real small. So having a business there just kind of scares me. Now, the one facing Church Street, not so much, but the one on lot 1, I'm not fond of, but my understanding on lot line revision, as long as it meets, what term am I using?
Quentin described it as a ministerial decision, something to that effect. I don't think it probably goes back to the whole law. but basically, they aren't creating anything, the request is not for anything they're not requesting non-conforming lots. They're actually requesting that non-conforming lots be converted into conforming lots.
Right.
So there's nothing in our land development regulations that would prohibit,
Us.
wouldn't give council any reason to deny that.
Right.
Yeah.
So if there's any questions, is there any questions about the lot line changes?
And the recommendation from the planning commission is to approve.
To
that.
approve, yes.
For council to approve that.
Yes. I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the lot line revision.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Sharon. Any further discussion? Around the room?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Okay, cool. Now we'll move to, we're going to have a joint public hearing of the planning commission and the council, so I need Brad to open up his meeting,
I'd like to open the session of the Centerville Planning Commission.
and then I'll open up the joint session of the Centerville County. And we're here to have a public hearing on a conditional use permit from Mr. Bill Heimer on the property we were just talking about, basically lot 1 and 2 that face Community Circle on Church Street. And AC sent everybody the possible orientation of the duplexes, one facing Church Street, one facing Community Circle.
And I don't know if I think I forgot to send out an explanation on that as well, though. On the attached paperwork, you can see, I had actually drawn this up for Wayne, get an understanding of configurations and meeting lot setbacks, setbacks and side yard requirements and everything. So when you look at that drawing, you will see the arrows that show the distances. Those are the minimum setbacks. That's not necessarily what is going to be, like on lot number 1, it shows 25-foot rear yard setback. That's the minimum requirement. That's not, the backyard on that one would be quite a bit bigger based on that lot line distance there.
So it can sit anywhere in between that 25, 10, and 30, basically.
Right, exactly.
Anywhere in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, okay, then we will open up the public comment. As we close public comment, we'll have our discussion, right?
Or you can have Wayne come up if he wants to say
Oh,
something
yeah.
first before you open it up for
Come on up, Wayne, before I open up public comment, please.
So my goal is to put 2 duplexes, as you can see there on the map. And my goal is not to do both. I heard some concerns about business. So I don't think it's a great idea to have a business run out of your duplex. So I could put a provision or a buffer that if the duplexes happen, then, business can't happen. My only thought was if a duplex does not happen, then I don't want to change the zoning per se.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have that opportunity to keep it business if I don't do duplexes.
Right. I mean, my concern, part concern was, if it's a duplex and someone decides they're gonna buy a side of duplex and make a
Mechanic shop.
mechanic shop, a coffee shop, or
Sure.
I'm gonna do my tax company out of it. My bigger concern is, and I don't know what you do, the one on Church Street doesn't scare me, because if you put a business on Church Street, on that Church Street side, you got plenty of access and all that stuff you can pull out on Church Street. The one that scares me is on, if you were to put a business on, Community Circle, the second one in, that'd be a terrible place for people to run in and out, so.
And if it's business, the business would need both lots.
Okay.
So it's.
I see what you're saying.
I own both lots.
Oh, okay.
I own the whole corners. I think it's around 1.1 acres. So my goal is to do just what is stated of the duplexes.
Okay.
However, if that doesn't happen for whatever reason, I don't want to forfeit my business opportunity to where you could put business. But a business needs a lot of parking, so it would actually probably be
It
beneficial.
would
to
take
have-
up both of them
That's
and
right.
possibly face Church Street.
That's right.
Okay, I feel a little bit better about that.
Sure, so,
Because I just,
my goal is not to do both. I don't want to put duplexes,
well, definitely not that.
and then 4 businesses out of duplex. That's not my
Yeah.
goal, so.
We're in full agreement on that one.
Sure, so I'd be glad to put language in there that, spelling it out a little bit better if you would like.
The AC asked Quentin what the best language would be, and if you're good with
Let's see.
you get number 2?
So this is just wording that Quentin suggested that would kind of cover what he feels the concerns would be. Proffer number one could read something to the effect of only 2 duplexes, 4 units total may be constructed pursuant to town and county building requirements. And proffer number 2 is how he had it worded in there. If 1 or more residential units are constructed on either lot, then the applicant agrees all B1 permitted uses shall be forfeited for both lots, and the only permitted uses shall be those as articulated in R2 of the town LDRs. So I think that's kind of what you were saying.
That's exactly right, yeah. He's saying it probably more in a legal, better terms.
Yeah, I think he is.
Than I was
Yeah.
presenting, but that's my goal, is to do just what that verbiage said.
Okay. So you had no issue with?
No issue at all, and that would take care of your concerns.
Yeah, my bigger concern was I didn't want to wake up one day and have half a duplex be a coffee shop, half a duplex be a tobacco shop, half a duplex be a garage, half a duplex be a whatever.
I agree with you, that
Okay.
would not make sense.
I feel better now.
I'm glad-
Okay, anyone else, before we go to public comment, anyone else have questions for him? Okay, well, open up for public comment. Reference to the conditional use permit. Anybody? Public comment. Then I'll close public comment. Talk any, or do you have a recommendation? You want us to walk out for a little bit? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll continue on until they come back.
Public meeting too, so
Yep, yeah, if anybody wants to hear what they're saying, talking about, you can head on out. It's how you're having more fun out there. Okay, AC, you want to do some public works?
let me get you that. The street light on Town Reservoir Lane apparently is, the online ticket is showing that it's installed. I haven't had a chance, I just looked at it this evening, so I'm going to go drive out afterwards and see if it's actually in. They just released it for installation about 6 days ago.
Okay.
So I'll check and see if that's in. And then the only other thing let's see, the solar farm, the second neighborhood meeting was held, kind of the same as what the first meeting was. There was really all opposition to the idea. I did call the county, or check with the county today, and they haven't received an application from the company yet for the solar farm. So I don't know. I'll just keep checking with them, and I'm sure the county, if they think about it when they get it, they'll probably reach out to us.
Yeah, he said at the meeting, not until after the first of the year.
And I think that's really what I have on Public Works. Well, I did have a meeting with one of the property owners about potential well site today. Gave them information, maps and stuff like that. So I'll wait to hear back from them. Not sure if I have a good inclination of the possibility of that yet. But anyway, when I hear something back from the family, I will let you all get that information out to you all. And that's all that I have on Public Works. Unless you have any questions.
Well, the water lake last week,
I'm sorry.
the water lake.
Oh, the one on North Main Street,
Yeah.
right. And actually, I was happened to be in Stanton, and the mayor probably has more information on that. It was the 10-inch line, pipe split, there was a rock across.
But all the way around,
Rocks under that they-
small rock was under it. Robin and I informally supervised the whole time. But they did a great job. It's basically draining the pipe from Real Road all the way down to,
Belvedere area.
yeah, down all that way. And they did a great job. And I started getting emails or texts about why the water pressure dropped. Well, we were worried about it, but when you got to fill up 2,500 gallons of water, all of a sudden it just sucks all the water from the high points in town into it. But no, they did a great job and put a huge ban on it. And it's just like we run into when they put that stuff in years ago. They dug it, threw it in there, and there are rocks underneath it. And after a while, it vibrates and breaks. And it was a clean break all the way around.
And from what I understand, the First Lady of Timberville enjoyed seeing the entire process of what the guys.
First Lady of Timber learned how to put a band on, learned how to dig it out. She learned how to drain the water from the fire hydrants and all that stuff. So now she's gonna be our backup.
She's certified.
She's certified. I don't know about her getting in that water, but
Trenton, you said Trenton was in the, sitting down in the
He was
water.
sitting down in
trying
the
to get-
water and-
Trying to get the rock out from underneath to get the band going.
30-degree water, or whatever that water is, they're squatting down in it and did a great job. So they did a very good job. And then he had a couple small leaks the day after, I think, but didn't know much about that. So. Okay.
All right, we would like to make a recommendation to approve if amended to include the language in Proffer 2.
Okay. Anybody? Thank you. Anybody have any questions? So we have a recommendation to approve conditional use request based on proffer number 2, which
So you've closed the public hearing.
closed public hearing.
They've made their recommendation.
Brett needs to close, right?
I just say you open closed, then probably, they should, since they've already made their
Okay,
recommendation.
then go ahead and close.
Okay, I'd like to close the session of the Timberville Planning Commission.
And I'll close the joint session, because I close that. Now we can have our conversation. There's rules. Okay, so we have a recommendation from the planning commission to approve the conditional use based on proffer number 2, which AC had just read. If one or more residential units are constructed on either lot, then applicant agrees all B1 permitted uses shall be forfeited in both lots, and only permitted uses are R2, and that's basically what Wayne was saying, except in a lawyerish way. So do we have a motion from the council?
I make a motion that we, yes.
Approve.
Approve,
Approve the request based on the recommendation.
based on that recommendation, yes.
Okay.
Proffer 2.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further
Second
discussion?
was easier than making the motion.
Any further discussion? Okay, around the room.
Yes.
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 Awesome. Okay.
And I'll get you all the signed paperwork and stuff tomorrow.
Okay, appreciate that. And I'm starting to enjoy the board more often. I might have to move to Timberville. You guys are a lot of fun. So you can tell my roots are starting to grow deep here. So
There you go.
I really enjoy Timberville. So thank you for that.
And we enjoy you doing all this business in Timberville.
When you were mentioning water line, I have several hundred feet new sitting up there. If you need a piece or two, I can hook you up.
That's one thing that I probably should have reported on in Public Works is that Wayne has started the Roxbury subdivision
Yes.
project.
And I've been playing mediator, so several people come on site and I'm very nice. I thank them for coming, warn them about the dangers of being there, and then we walk to the property line. However, I understand it's new. People don't, quite understand, so I explain it well, try to educate people and let them know what's happening and try to keep the peace. So far so good. I understand some concerns that came in and we're trying to keep it as calm as we can. So.
Right. And I enjoyed the posting from the fire department.
Yes, that was a lot of, I've never really been around fire in my life as far as, being a game warden. It's just not something we did, but I was there and it went down quick. I mean, it makes you realize how important smoke detectors are because till the smoke started to rise, probably 20 minutes, he said it was to a point that they couldn't have saved it. So that's the first I've been around, but they trained there for probably 7-8 months. I mean, they got a lot of training out of it. I donated it to the fire department in Timberville. Timberville didn't come as much as Broadway, but it was a great training area for many months.
Wow.
A lot of fire departments out there throughout the summer.
Oh, we appreciate it.
And he's referring to the house that was on the property that
3128 was the address, 3218 Roxbury.
And it's totally gone now.
It is, and it's full of dirt. I mean, you wouldn't even know it was there.
Awesome, well, thank you.
Thanks.
Did you finish public works?
Yes.
Okay. Business and industry?
I don't have anything to share at this time.
I don't think so either. Parks and Rec.
We already did the rail trail leather. Winter Festival was this past weekend. I think it was successful again. I talked to some of the vendors that I talked to, said that they were very happy with it. I know some of them, at least one of them had like a 50% increase in sales over last year, or nearly 50% increase. So it was weird weather because we had the snow and ice the first morning, and it melted off by the end of the day. And we saw some issues with our infrastructure over there, with our buildings, with our facilities. So one of the things we'll be including is new gutters into the budget because they were leaking. So we're going to put those in for this year. But I want to thank the vendors and the food trucks, obviously, because without them, we wouldn't have an event. The Rurtons for the setup, the parking of the cars on both days, and cleanup. Isaac Stroop for his music on Saturday, and the BHS Tri-M, I think it's Society, on Sunday. So it's a choir with some musical instruments that came in. And Heavenly Heart Farm and Petting Zoo, they were set up on Sunday in the back of the stables. Santa, of course, and then obviously all the town staff that put the time into it, and Cecilia, and especially Cecilia and Daniel. So Daniel got a good training short time into his tenure here, and so Cecilia's
Daniel should have started in the spring.
getting him trained. Do what?
You should have started in the spring instead of fall.
So, but no, we thought it was a good event. So.
And the staff was talking about how they went around and asked for suggestions, and they're looking at possible changing some things next year. And what little bit they talked about sounds like it had a lot to it.
Yeah. It's hard to make big changes just because of our small staff who manages this thing. But we came up with, I think, what are some really good ideas that'll give a little bit of a new flavor to it without changing the essence of the whole event. So.
Cool. Is that it, AC?
That's all that I have on Parks and Rec.
Okay, finance. Everybody has their audit. Financial report.
Financial report. So have fun with that. I will try to get out a more succinct summary of the first 10 or 11 pages of the management's discussion and analysis. Even read through that because a lot of that is me pulling numbers out of all of these different charts and tables in the back and putting them in. Some of that, there was one that Melinda and I looked at it, it's like, why does that look like that? Why is it so skewed? It's like, we're still good, but that made us look like, oh my gosh, we're really like super great increase in this. And it has to do with the ARPA funding and some of the projects and stuff we did. So I'm going to try to get a better comparison of what we would have had last year and kind of explain some of those things better. That's the plan. So hopefully we'll get it out.
The first thing you see is the coronavirus stuff is 565,000 extra revenue.
Right, exactly. So when you have those big chunks of money that come in like that, that kind of skews your view of it a little bit, yeah.
Okay. And we got a couple months before we have to start having a budget meeting.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, personnel, anything, chief?
Just one thing, if you all recall, I have a police chaplain. Aaron has taken upon himself to do a ride-along with each of the officers. Even working, he's worked with Will, he's worked 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So he's building a relationship with the officers, so it's good for him to get to know the officers, to make that connection.
Awesome.
The only thing I would have is that I'd send out the thing about the potential change for meeting times. Just disregard that. That's situation's taken care of itself. So.
Museum, what you got, Sharon?
Construction started Monday, and they're doing a great job.
How long is it supposed to take? Do you know?
Well, the way they're going, it's not gonna be long, because I was there Tuesday, and it was unbelievable what
And
to
remind people what they're doing?
We are building an art, well, where the yard sale room is, will be moved out from there. And the yard sale room presently will be our archive room. It'll be controlled climate
Okay.
for all of our documents.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you. What do you got for us, sir? First of all, how'd your bowls sell on?
What?
You sell a lot of bowls the other day?
This is the best year I ever had,
There you go.
and I thought, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
But, yeah, each year I say I'm not gonna do it again, and then when I get somebody to help me put my shelves up, well, we might do it again next year. And he just didn't know that yet.
When he's that good, he can't stay away.
Oh, we have been having trouble at the museum. Last week, the alarm went off, and of course, they called me. I'm the closest one. I run down and check and see how many burglars are in there.
Don't.
And then it happened again today.
Yeah.
But if it don't go down and disarm the alarm, they'll probably keep calling back.
No, we figured out what it was.
Well, tell me.
Where the men are working, the motion camera we have up wasn't covered. So every time they come in and out of that door and they hit that motion camera, it sets off the alarm. I took care of it.
So the next time they call me, I'll just ignore it. Is that
Just
what you're-
ignore it.
At least it was the workers and not a drunk raccoon.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, what do you got, sir?
Okay. On Friday, February 8th, 1924, the play Listen Ladies was given by the ladies of the town and community in the school auditorium. I think we've heard that one before. 1907, the Byers Hoover Company was selling automobile tires. The cost was $5.75.
You can't get over that.
1919, Frank H. Driver was growing apples and peaches in his hilltop orchards, but I don't know where those orchards were located. I don't know where his were at. The Timberville Creamery Company started in 1912. By June 1st, 1913, 56,212 pounds of butter was sold. Receipts for butter, ice cream, buttermilk, and so forth amounted to $18,469.81. That's pretty big money back in those days, I would say. January 29th, 1921, the Lutheran parsonage was built in 1919, 20, and 21. 43 pounds of nails were used building the parsonage and other buildings. The nails cost $2.58, 6 cents a pound. Anybody know?
You might be able to get a pound for what you paid for all those. maybe.
That's probably just about right. September 1909, around the Timberville area, the price of eggs was 24 cents a dozen, ham was 17 cents a pound, bacon was 15 cents a pound, and apples were 50 cents a bushel. Now we have some, we've gone over this maybe years ago, but some of the population figures over the years, and these are the census years. At 1880, 112 people in town. 1900, 173. 1910, 240. 1920, 277. 1930, 302. 1940, 253, and 1950, 271. You notice that 1940 and 50 was less than 1930, the Second World War. I'm assuming that's what caused that.
It sounds like.
1960, 412, 1970, 959. And then in the 2000 census, the population density of Timberville was 1,968 people per square mile. What is it now, you know?
So that would have equated to the 1,700 and whatever actual population, because Timberville was less than a square mile at that point. So now we are at, I think the estimate for probably 2024 was 3,104 people. So.
And then the last one I had, we'll end up on a high note. The burial expenses around the Timberville area on January 2nd, 1914 was $87.42. So,
Burial expenses?
burial expenses, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my,
Went up a little bit, didn't it?
a little
Yeah.
inflation.
I can't afford to die.
The problem is you still got 17 tires. so that-
Just lay me up on
Yeah. Okay, other business. Council have any other business to bring forth at this time? Anybody? Okay, now we're down to public comment. We got a couple of people here. Anyone have any public comment? And thank you all for coming. Meeting adjourned.